Okay, today is my first day home after my triple fusion surgery. That was done on the 29th of May, and today's the 4th of June. Um, and I figured I'd do a couple videos, let everybody know how I'm doing, make it easier. And plus it makes it easier to keep track of for anything for the doctors should it be needed. So today went really well. Um, when I was released yesterday, I was in a complete panic because the way they had made it sound, I wasn't going to get any help at all other than physical therapy and occupational therapy. And so I was worrying how I was going to get groceries and put them away and cook and clean and wash my hair, brush my... just basic stuff everybody takes for granted. And this morning, everything kind of fell together. I spent most of the day sleeping, but that's to be expected because it was a major surgery. The surgery went very well. I was told that it may not, that the purpose of the surgery at the point we were at was to prevent any further issues, and that it may not do much for the problems that I had. And luckily my surgeon, Dr. Hazama, was just fabulous. I can't speak for the surgery itself as far as from a first person point of view, being asleep, but I know that I can lift my arm above my head. I can't hold it there yet, but I can lift it, which is something I haven't been able to do much of for almost 2 years now. And so that was a huge, huge relief. I don't have 100% strength back, but I do have probably about 80-85% of my strength that I had lost back. And when it's your dominant hand, it's pretty important. And being that I'm an artist and my goals are to hopefully heal enough to where I can turn my portraits into a business that can be self-sustaining. That's my goal for the future. And I do think we're going to head there. I think the biggest shock for me was the pain's actually not as bad today. So for my first day home, we went really well. You can see the upper part here is more white than underneath, and that's not the play of the lighting. That's actually how it is itself, because it's still quite swollen. So it's almost like I have an Adam's apple. Hopefully that goes soon, because I still am struggling to eat and drink with the swallowing, because of the swelling. And I still have a lot of muscle spasms in the neck and shoulder, as to be expected. But we're still in early days of healing, and I'm looking forward to each and every improvement, and just things are looking brighter for a change. God's definitely been busy answering a lot of prayers. He's been with my dad, who is back in the hospital, but luckily we aren't losing him just yet like we were worried about. And so when his time comes, whatever God is ready for him to come home, hopefully we can make sure it's peaceful and as pain-free as we can get it for him. All my appointments that I was having anxiety issues with, trying to figure out how I was supposed to sort them all out, actually took care of themselves. I called my doctor this morning and set up my post-op surgery, or my post-op appointment, and from there everything just kind of fell into place. I've got the nurse is coming over first thing in the morning to go through all of my discharge papers and my restrictions. and getting me started with my physical therapy and occupational therapist. And everything's just fallen into place, and like I said, I didn't have to do any of it other than make 2 phone calls, and everything else just sorted itself out. So hopefully I can start getting an aide in here soon and help with the cooking and the cleaning and some personal cares like washing my hair. And well, long hair is not an easy thing when you're in one of these. You do take for granted everything that you can do when you have full use of your head. When you have no use of your head, it's just, you're in awe of all the things that you didn't realize you were taking for granted. If I drop something on the floor, I can't see where it is to try and pick it up with a grabber even. So it's feeling around and hoping I feel it with my foot and then can try and get it with the grabber. It's simple things like that you don't pay attention to. Seeing the groceries that are in the fridge that need to get tossed because of a almost week-long stay in the hospital. That's something, again, I can't do. I'm not allowed to do any bending or twisting. I'm not supposed to lift more than a jug of milk. So, yeah, the restrictions are very, very strict. No driving, no nothing. I'm in the brace for 3 months. The only time it's allowed off is when I'm in bed laying down. But if I'm not laying down, I have to have my head supported at all times by the brace. And I do have one for the shower that is waterproof. But without it, I'm essentially a bobblehead, which I'm not a fan of them. I keep seeing Albert Einstein's bobblehead from the night at the museum. So, yeah, I prefer not to be one of them. And I prefer not to be the modern day version of Sleepy Hollow. So, I'm really going to do my best to follow doctor's orders and wear it. I will say, getting up at 3 in the morning to go pee is a little bit tricky because you really are in a foggy brain. You're half asleep. And so the last thing I'm thinking of is to grab my neck brace and put it on. So that's a habit I'm going to have to definitely work on getting used to. But other than that, everything's falling into place. And so I thank God that He's just been answering everybody's prayers, especially my own. And we're on the healing side of things finally. So, God bless and take care, everyone. Now I will update tomorrow if there's any changes. Bye.